Alaba announces Bayern departure. Arsenal wants Celtic man. Rosa agrees Dortmund switch. Moyes masterclass continues, and a transfer roundup all coming up in the next few minutes. As I'm your host, Matt Froelich, here with the OneFootballers, and this is the Daily News. So first up, and today is the day that David Alaba finally announces that he will be leaving Bayern Munich, putting to end all the speculation that he might make a U-turn and re-sign with the club. It's been obvious that he's going to be leaving, just hasn't really been set in stone, but after the press conference today, it will be probably a free-for-all. Actually, having said that, there have been plenty of chances for teams to offer David Alaba a new contract starting in the summer from January the 1st, but apparently only one Premier League team has done so far, and that is Chelsea. Now, of course, there are loads of teams interested in him, like I said, but apparently the deciding factor is that Alaba seems really keen to move to La Liga. This obviously puts Barcelona and Real Madrid at the top of the pile. Now, when it comes to all of the big teams as well, including Liverpool, Manchester City, Chelsea in England, there's PSG, also Juventus as well, they all need in some way or another a centre-back. Signing a world-class centre-back in David Alaba is a no-brainer. Yes, he's going to cost a lot of money, but he's also coming in on a free transfer. The thing is, if he really wants to go ahead and play La Liga, it looks like Real Madrid is going to be the only option, and that is why the likes of Liverpool, City and a few others just have not offered a contract. Chelsea have put the 400k a week on the table that he wants, but if he's really got his heart set on a move to Spain, then so be it. The one thing is, though, and the one reason why I believe there should be a little bit more interest in Alaba is because it kind of leaves a few options running low. Now, all the teams that I've just mentioned are clearly in for a centre-back. Whether Chelsea want another experienced defender, whether United want a partner for Maguire, whether PSG want another centre-back, obviously Chiellini and Bonucci are getting late into their 30s, Juventus might want another defender. For whatever reason, every club in Europe is kind of looking at the same players. Like, Upamecano, before he signed for Bayern, would have been on all of their lists. Sergio Ramos has been linked with all of those clubs. Same with David Alaba, Konate in some places as well. All the clubs look at the top players. That's pretty much a given. So the fact that now Bayern have signed Upamecano, they're not going to be keeping Alaba, who looks like he'll be going to Real Madrid because Sergio Ramos or Rafa Varane might leave. This is slowly but surely kicking the transfer market into action, despite the fact we've still got a few months to go before it opens again. You can expect some interesting news in the next few days, but my personal bet is that he'll end up at Real Madrid. I know it's not really an outrageous bet because it looks like the obvious choice, but I really just think, especially with Sergio Ramos talks at a bit of a stall at the moment, they'll go ahead and pay the money to bring in Alaba. Moving on though, we're talking about paying some money, and it's actually not that big of money in today's market, and it's Arsenal moving for Celtic's Odsonne Edouard. The former PSG youth player has been north of the border in England and absolutely banging in the goals. He's already got 15 this season, I believe, and he's doing so well that Celtic obviously don't want to lose him on a free. This seems to be the thing today. So much player power, they could just decide that they want to move, because if they run their contract down, clubs are petrified of losing them for nothing. He has just under 18 months left on his contract, which runs out the summer 2022, and Arsenal, who have had admiring glances at him before, are apparently set to make a move in the summer for around just £15 million. That is quite a lot actually for Celtic, but not a huge amount when it comes to a big financial side in the Premier League. The whole reason is that Arsenal up front, for whatever reason, just cannot seem to get it right outside of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He's fine. Lacazette wasn't in the squad for the Leeds game. There have certainly been question marks over his future. I thought he was going to end up at Atletico Madrid. It looked nailed on he was going to end up at Atleti last summer. Obviously, that didn't happen. Behind him, Eddie Nketiah just has not taken his chance when given it. It looks like Balogun's going to be leaving for free at the end of the season, and another good youth prospect. Obviously, Martinelli's had his injury worries, but he's trying to work his way back into form. So I think this actually could be quite a good move. I mean, the last time Arsenal bought a player from Celtic and Kieran Tierney, that went fantastically well. He's one of the best left-backs in the league and could be future Arsenal captain, so I don't think they'll have many hesitations about buying from their Scottish brothers up north. Moving on to the Bundesliga, where Borussia Mönchengladbach manager Marco Rose has decided to call it quits at the club and will be leaving to Dortmund at the end of the season. This was always going to be a possibility ever since Lucien Favre was sacked at Dortmund, and there had been a few rumours swirling, and according to the CEO at Gladbach, discussions had been taking place in the last few weeks. They couldn't really reach an agreement, so he has decided to leave at the end of the year. He actually only joined the club into the summer of 2019 from Salzburg, took him into the Champions League. Now we take them into the Champions League group stages, and overall it's a pretty good job well done. The thing is, he'll kind of be taking the next step up at Dortmund. Yes, in the league they're pretty much side by side at the moment. They're also not their favourites, let's say, in the knockout of the Champions League, but considering the players Dortmund have got, Considering the budget and the history of the club, you just think they're in a bit better place to challenge Bayern Munich at the top of the Bundesliga rather than Gladbach. Oh, no disrespect to them, because he's got them playing some fine football. But also, that football will translate exceptionally well to the players that Dortmund have got too. As for Dortmund in the Champions League, it's going to be a tough one against Sevilla, that's for sure. And as for Gladbach, I believe they've got Manchester City. In which case, yeah, that's also going to be a very tough game. So regardless of his old club or his new club, it looks like they may not make it through to the quarterfinals, but he will be in the Dortmund hot seat come the start of next season. Moving on then, and to another masterclass from manager, David Moyes. I can't believe this. Just when you think 2021 couldn't get any weirder, we're sat here talking about how well David Moyes has done. Not since them Everton days we were praising him so highly, but well worth it. His West Ham side are up into 5th. They were actually in 4th, but then Chelsea won last night straight after them, so they went back into the 4th spot. But anyway, fantastic. Moyes has brought a brilliant brand of football to West Ham. They're winning consistently, and they've turned both their home and away form right around. West Ham are often so inconsistent, especially either doing well away from home or not at home, or the other way around. But now they've sorted both out, and they're making a push for European football for the first time, I think, in about 4 or 5 years. Honestly, the fact that Moyes has come in and made big calls, the likes of Sebastian Haller leaving the club, because, well, Haller didn't really fit the system. Bringing in also the likes of Said Ben Rama, who's coming on a permanent deal after a loan deal for Brentford, and Jesse Lingard as well, who won a penalty last night. He's held on to Declan Rice. He's made big calls with Souček in the midfield, starting ahead of club captain Mark Noble, who pretty much started every game before this season. So he's made some big calls, and it's really, really working for them. Last night, as I mentioned, they managed to beat Sheffield United, who are now 14 points adrift at the bottom of the table with 14 games to go, and things aren't looking very good for them. As I did mention with Chelsea though, Timo Werner, goal and assist. We're finally seeing a bit of good form from Timo. He scored in their 2-0 victory over Newcastle United, which, as I mentioned, took them back into the Champions League places. So next up, and a quick round-up of the rest of the day's transfer news that you might have missed, and apparently Norwich have told Bayern Munich they're going to have to pay £30 to £35 million if they want to sign fullback Max Aarons. That's a bit of a kick in the teeth, including the Alaba news today, including the fact that yesterday they only managed to scrape a 3-3 draw at home to Arminia Bielefeld. Not a very good time to be a Bayern Munich fan. And let's go back to last week when they won the Club World Cup, their 6th trophy, in the last 12 months. Elsewhere, Ilkay Gundogan has said that he definitely wants to move into management when he's finished as a player. If he shows any sort of streak in management in the kind of streak of form he's showing at the moment on the pitch, he'll be a fantastic manager. Luis Suarez has said that there is a clause in his Atletico contract that he can leave at the end of each season, but he doesn't want to go anywhere as he's loving life at the club. And last but not least, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer says he's not worried that no contract talks have really started at Manchester United, despite the fact he's got less than 18 months left on his current deal. So there you have it. That is all from me for today. Smash the like button, let me know your thoughts, check out everything else we've got going on, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.